Now, entertainment gist is up, and Samuel Carter is right here in the studio with us. Samuel, good morning.
Good morning, Margaret. How you doing?
I'm fine. Good morning.
Missed you on the show yesterday.
Oh well, it was
Samson,
only.
coming to you. How are you doing, Samson?
I'm all right. I'm
good
good
to have you. You all, on show today.
Yeah. So what's buzzing? I mean, I know it's the entertainment. There are several gists, right about now.
Yes, very, very interesting gist. From the world of entertainment, all around entertainment anyway.
Okay.
But then, you'll be getting to know this in a matter of time. All right, hello and welcome to Entertainment Gist. I am Samuel Okata. Here are our top gists at this hour. To begin with is Habib Okikiola, aka Portable. Nigerian music star singer Habib Okikiola, aka Portable, has been disqualified from the 15th edition of Headies Awards scheduled to hold this year. The organizers on Tuesday evening gave reasons for Portable's disqualification. They stated that the singer was the founder of the 1 Million Boys, a suspected cult group in Lagos. The decision to disqualify Mr. Okikiola is accentuated by a series of misdemeanors by Mr. Okikiola via his social media platforms. In their words, they said, "We shall not condone reckless and uncouth statements from artists and hereby disassociate ourselves from any individuals linked to such assembly or activities linked to him as described. The music industry demands all-round excellence. It is extremely important for young artists being potential role models to exude professional responsibilities, proper decorum, and have respect for others," Headies organizer stated. Reacting to his disqualification, Portable said in his words, "I am a child of light. I have fame. I have money. I have cars. I have wives. I have children. I am rich. People know me everywhere. I don't regret my actions," the singer said in a video while being caressed by his new wife. Well, this is really not a good news for Portable, but then it's another good news for me because I want such kind of things coming from brands. It's high time we begin to see brands disassociate themselves from people who have questionable characters, or people who have this intent of coming to social media to say all manner of ill things. I mean, these people should know that they have role models and they should be concerned what these people are really consuming from them. But then again, that's my own, take on this. Samson, what's your opinion about this?
It's the right thing they did, the organizers of the music award. You can't go ahead make, such hefty claims about establishing or founding, cult groups and, basically groups that terrorized Lagosians during the pandemic and think you'll go scot-free. So it's part of, the issue of branding, not just in music or entertainment, but generally brands do not want to associate with, people or individuals or a group of them that would tarnish the image of that brand. So I think it's the right thing they did. You can't make such uncouth statements and just think you go scot-free in that sense. Now it's left for him to, address all of these issues, look inward and see how we can improve. But from all indications, that doesn't look like the case. And that's where, you want to question if really he's prepared for the stardom he stumbled upon. Because you need the right team to be around you to tell you the right things. It's one thing to have the right team around you. It's another thing for you to even accept, the pieces of advice that they give you to try, remodel and refine yourself. So that it's either, he doesn't have the right team around him to guide him through his, newfound fame, or he has the right team, but they're not, he's not just heeding to, their instructions. So I think it's the right step in the right direction.
All right.
Well,
do you have anything to say?
Of course, I do have something to say. The thing is, like something that rightly said, and I've said this before, that Habib Okikiola, Portable, was fortunate enough to stumble on wealth and fame. But the thing is that wealth and fame is not all that is to life. The impact you make on people is what you will be remembered for. People become famous every day. When your time for fame is over, are you going to, there's something called old money. Are you going to, your brands won't be calling you for endorsement. Are you going to be focused on what you had before? So the thing, he is not wise enough to understand that all of these statements, social media never forgets. He may come and turn a new leaf tomorrow, but then how are you going to erase the memory of all of those things you've said, all of the attitude and fighting? And for crying out loud, if you call yourself a celebrity, you have to behave like one. You have to be a role model. Now the young ones coming up, I don't want my son to emulate you, because it's, to me, that's an irresponsible attitude. I wouldn't want people close to me to emulate someone like him. As a matter of fact, this is me being so plain without I am unapologetic about it. I don't want to be associated with someone like him. I don't want people I love to be associated with someone like him, because he's not a good example. So what the Headies did is the right thing to do. And if every other brand that may want to sign him, that may want to require his services, would withdraw from him, he would come to his senses. Probably he feels like, well, the Headies is just one award. But if you cannot be diligent enough or responsible enough to get the recognition of Headies that is in your country, how do you think you'll get to win the Grammy someday? How do you think you'll get to be on Billboard someday? All of these things start from little. If the Headies already your first nomination, you already blew it up, and you want to have a career in music, I don't know the rocket science, I don't know the kind of magic that would happen, but I don't see him going far actually with this attitude of his. Yeah.
Well, I hope he learns.
I hope so too. Let's
move on. 4,269 pounds, approximately 2,136,349 naira, 345 naira 49 kobo. That's approximately to that money has been raised via Gofundme account for Edris Abdulkareem, who is set to undergo major surgery for a kidney transplant today. The Nigerian veteran rapper, who was recently diagnosed with kidney failure, shared his GoFundMe account to fans and well-meaning Nigerians on July 22, Friday. He appreciated his fans and well-wishers for their show of love and support since the announcement of his health issues. In his words, he said, "I want to assure everyone that the activity is now on. Just click on my Instagram website for GoFundMe link." In his words, he also said, "I am feeling better, strong and agile in body and soul, while awaiting the doctor's summons for the surgery procedures scheduled for any time from now. Prayers, faith, and staunch belief in God's awesome works drives me. Lacrime management. May the blessings of God continue to abide with you all and your respective household. Amen. Blessings." The GoFundMe account was £48,000, but as of the time of filing this report, only £4,269 has been raised by 164 donors. Quite touching. Something you may want to ask me, because I never knew this guy was really down, not to even talk of, having kidney failures. Well, I don't know how that really happened, but it's really sad. I hope he recovers, as at yesterday when the surgery was conducted. How do you feel, Samson? What's your perspective?
It's definitely not good when you have people down with illnesses like this, be it terminal or very major ailments. Having said that, I mean, it's not also new that this is happening. It has been in the entertainment industry for some time. Different people remember OJB Israel, the former music and producer, a legend who produced the vast majority of songs on Two Faces' first album. So all of these things happen sometimes, but the fact that they are celebrities, that's why it's in the spotlight. I hope that is able to hit the targets in terms of the target they've set for the surgery, but more importantly is that the surgery is successful and is able to recuperate well. OJB Israel had easily recuperated, but I think after about 3 or 4 years, that's when he eventually passed on. So we hope that Edris Abdulkareem gets all the necessary support he needs at this time, not just financially, but morally, physically, everything, medically, and I hope that he recuperates well from this.
And I also hope he sticks to the doctor's advice, maybe after this surgery, because you just have to, find your way to manage your health going forward. Margaret?
Well-meaning Nigerians and people in diaspora has helped with this to make this a success. It just goes along with to talk about the impact we spoke about when it comes to when the issue of Muslim portable. Yep. We look at the impact I know Idris Abdulkareem is someone I've listened to from teenage age up to when he stopped, when he paused for a while. He made a lot of impact from his songs. He may not be the first person in terms of attitude now, but the impact he made was what I'm sure a lot of people are thinking of his impact over the years and were like, oh, someone like this. With the case of South Sultan, we really didn't know. I'm sure if South Sultan had put a GoFundMe, a lot of people would have donated because of the love and the impact he had. People want to be like these people. They might not be the best people. We're still talking about impact. That's the part I want to look at it from. He has created an impact. People want to see him healthy. OJB2, people wanted to see him healthy, but unfortunately we lost him. Still the same thing with South Sultan. So every celebrity should take a cue. It's not, I'm not praying for sickness or any kind of disease, but then for cases like this, will people boldly want to donate for you? Will they boldly come out and say, yeah, this guy has been a blessing, and my children listen to his song, and we listen to it, and he makes so much sense. We want to see him alive, so he will do more songs for us. I'm not sure it would be the same case of a lot of celebrities now. But for someone like that, well, we hope and we wish him speedy recovery, and we thank the well-meaning Nigerians and other people who have donated, and then we just wish him speedy recovery.
That's true, and I was even coming there too, you know, when you said, you know, you appreciated those who contributed. Yes, I did, and I'm also happy that the amount that was actually, you know, being talked about wasn't that much, so as to give people that quick response.
Well, you can't say it wasn't that much.
Well,
no, I'm talking about when compared to others who had, you know,
well, any money is money, especially with the kind of economy now. All over the world, economy is crumbling. So people bringing out a 1,000 naira, $100, £100, it's not easy because they will need it for something. So if you say it wasn't that much, every money is much.
It's a sacrificial.
As a matter of fact, it's sacrificial, so every money is much. Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Finally, Nollywood actress Iniedo has raised concern over the nation's crumbling economy, saying that basic amenities are too costly to afford. In her words, she stated this in a story on a verified Instagram page. According to the mother of one, it is high time the Nigerian youth gets their permanent voters card, PVCs. Iniedo wrote, on a serious note, guys, everything in this country has really gone south. Even economy ticket is about 100K due to lack of aviation fuel. Dollar will hit 700 in a matter of hours, not telling you who to vote, but use your tongue to counter it. My own is get your PVC. It is only a few days left. If not, then you would have lost your right to complain if this mishap befalls us again. I pray that inflation will not arise the second time. Rise up for your information. DSTV rate is also on a constant rise, and so is data, she concluded. And that's it on the news update at this hour. But then again, before we wrap up, Samson, what do you have to say concerning this?
She's stating the obvious, and I like the fact that, you know, the situation of the state of the nation is now prompting people to be more aware and to create, you know, sensitization around the need to exercise franchise. I mean, if the state of the nation was probably in a better state in terms of people being more comfortable, the cost of living low, the standard of living relatively decent, there could be that apathy. But right now, because of how, you know, the state of the nation is, you now see more people make use of their platforms, be it celebrities or those who are not even celebrities, they're now making use of their platforms to really call for, you know, people to exercise their franchise. And the only way you can exercise your franchise is by getting your permanent voters card and being involved. So I really like the fact that everyone is channeling that energy towards, oh, let's get our PVCs, let's all get involved in the process. And that's the only way we can change this nation. I've said it several times. It requires us chipping in, diving in, staying at it. That's the only way change can come. Change won't come if we just sit back and, you know, allow status quo to remain. The change we seek is a bit messy, it's a bit difficult, it will be challenging, but the only way we can go through it is by ensuring that we all participate in the process and we see through it till the very end.
Well, in spite of participation, I still hope that our vote still counts, you know.
The only way votes will count is when you participate. If you do not participate, it won't count. Ask cultural indigents, or indigents rather, ask Ekiti. If you do not participate, it won't count. Again, I understand the place of votes have not counted in time past and all of that, but you also have to understand that for you to just sit back and say votes won't count doesn't matter. The fact that they induce voters to come out and vote on election day means that your votes counts.
Noted.
Well, getting PVC is one thing, being involved in the process is another thing. So participation is, for me, is more important than even having your PVCs and putting it in your pockets or using it for bank transactions or international transactions as a Nigerian. So participating is important, and also votes actually do count. That's why these people rig votes, because they know it counts. So if, like Iniedo said, and I've said this over a couple of times, if you don't exercise your franchise, that means, or your rights, your civil rights as a Nigerian, that means you have lost the right to even complain. So that means if you sit in your house during election day, probably as a man you're playing football, as a lady you're somewhere making noodles for, and you enjoy sitting and watching, feel your gen, sitting. Your parents always say don't go out, but then someone said your parents has always told you don't go for parties, we go for parties. Told you don't have a boyfriend, you have a boyfriend. Don't have a girlfriend, you have a girlfriend. So don't vote. Parents will always be scared because of the outcome of how elections has been. But then we have to make them understand that this is our future. You are living your years, and in a few years' time, you'll be out. But I have a lot of years to go. I have to determine how I want this country to run, because my children will come, and I don't want them to come into a messy country. It's already too messy. Economic ticket is 100,000 naira. The last time I traveled, it was sold for less than 40,000 naira. Sure. And a business class ticket was 120,000 naira. So if you have economy for 100k now, that means your business class will be over 200,000 naira. And I'm wondering what's happening. People can't travel by road. The roads are bad, and there's insecurity in the road, abductions. You can't travel by train. You can also fly by air. We're not witches to appear and disappear. There should be a way. And also, if you don't go out to vote, if you don't vote with your conscience, if you don't count your feet with your tongue, then you have no right
to complain.
No right. When I mean no right, I say no right. I mean no right to complain on how the economy goes. If fuel wants to be sold by 500 naira, you have no right to complain. If bread that was sold by 300 is now 800, you have no right to complain. If dollar rises, it's currently 710 naira now, and if it rises to 1,000 naira, you have no right to complain, because why we complain about the government is the problem. Sometimes we are even more of a problem than the government. Because it is still we that they ask to rig elections, we go to snatch ballot box. It's still we they give 5,000 naira and we still vote. It's still, come on. So as much as the government is the problem, I think we as the people, we are more of a problem. Until we realize where the problem is coming from and solve it, there may really not be a good Nigeria for all of us to live in.
That's true. Appreciated your comments and opinions, and I appreciate my viewers also who stuck right there, viewing our TV station. Let's do this again, same time, some other time. I am Samuel Ukata, and bye for now.
Thank you, Samuel. We'll go on a very short break now. When we return, we'll be hitting coast on the show. Please to stay with us.